So is it hitting you yet, or is it probably going to take until you get there for it to hit you?
Yeah, I think when you just fly back into the city, drive back downtown, kind of see the skyline and everything like that, it's hits home a little bit more, but I'm sure it'll probably all come back to me a little bit tonight, especially with everything going on with the Chelios jersey retirement and me being my first game back, and just kind of take it all in, enjoy it, and just enjoy the whole night.
Are you nervous, anxious?
No, I don't know if I'm nervous. I think I'm just more just looking forward to everything, kind of excited about just the whole night in general. I keep thinking like I'm not going to have too much emotion, but I guess you never know once those things kind of go down. So just kind of looking forward to seeing how everything unfolds.
As somebody that's appreciated the history of hockey as much as you have throughout your career, does it mean more with what Chris Chelios means to USA Hockey to have that tonight in your first game back?
Yeah, I think just knowing Chelly too, like he's been such a big supporter of USA Hockey, and not only that, I feel like he's been a great friend to me, and even when I was kind of going through the whole process this summer, and just kind of like checking in with him and talking to him a little bit about certain situations was very beneficial for me. So, for me, it's like another friend is getting a great honor tonight, and you add that on top of how much he's meant to the Blackhawks and USA Hockey, and just the legend that he is and how long he played. It's pretty cool. It kind of goes hand in hand.
When you think about arriving at the United Center and opponent's bus and going to the visitors' locker room, do you think it's going to be strange?
Yeah, someone was telling me yesterday not to, just keep walking to the Blackhawks room. Like you got to turn right at some point to go into the visitors' room. So it'll be a little bit different. I've never really been in that room except for like maybe 1 or 2 days in training camp when they would have the red and white scrimmage there. With filling out the building in those training camp scrimmages. So that's probably the only time I've really been in there. So. It'll be a little bit different, but I think it's just like, try to treat it like another road game. I know it isn't, but hopefully settle in quickly and just kind of play tonight.
Are you going to be watching the Chelios ceremony?
Yeah, I think our plan is to go out. So I think, he obviously meant a lot to the Blackhawks organization, but the Red Wings as well. So I think as a team we're going to go out and definitely participate and watch for a little bit.
As we get older, we reflect more on life, and you grew a new man in this town, and this city embraced you. Have you had a chance to reflect on what it was like for 15 and a half years in this city, being a Blackhawk, but being a Chicagoan as well?
Yeah, I think I'm so blessed just being drafted, and I can remember the first day coming into Chicago, I was just like overwhelmed with the traffic and the city and everything, and you're just thinking like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, I'm from a little town like from Buffalo, and never had to deal with anything like this, and I was just so wrong about that. It is such an amazing sports town, amazing city. Appreciate the fans and all the people in the city. As much as you possibly can, just the support they gave me from the day I came in, just cheering me on, and not only through good times, but some tough times as well. So, they always seem to be supporting me, which I definitely appreciated.
We're also you playing against Connor Bedard today, another potential highlight, and just what have you thought about what he's been doing so far this year here?
He's been amazing. He's been great. We talk about the fans in the city and how it's such a great sports town. He's in a great spot for that, and I think the fans deserve, another long run of, a great hockey player and hopefully great teams behind him. But I think it's a great way to kind of, I said this the other day, start the rebuild, and you start with a player like that, it's definitely accelerates it a little bit. But he's been special, obviously. I'm sure you guys see covering him every night. He's worth the price of admission. He does special things, so he's going to be a great player for a long time.
What do you appreciate watching him the most?
I think, obviously he's got so much skill in his shot, and very creative out there. But when I think about him, I think about the work that you have to put in to be at that level, right? And some people think it's like God-given talent or things like that, or you kind of go through it yourself when you're younger. Sharpie would always make fun of me and say I was silver spoon-fed because I was the first overall pick and got all these opportunities. And I would always tell him, hey, you should have worked harder when you were a kid. That's what gave me those opportunities. So he always liked that one. Quieted it down pretty quickly after that. But that's what I think of with Connor. It seems like he loves the game, loves practicing, loves working at his game. So all that stuff pays off.
How does it make you feel when he says he's watched like 100 of your highlight reels on YouTube?
No, it's cool. I mean, I think that's the cool thing about today's day and age. Like, if I had that access when I was younger, I'd be, on there all the time watching highlight tapes of players around the league. And I remember talking to Chris Chelios a little bit, and he said he would watch highlight tapes of guys in the league and go out and just try to practice what they would do. So it's a cool way to learn and practice as well. But always cool to hear that stuff.
Can you talk a little bit about your time so far in Detroit, and was it weird to how weird was it to put a Red Wings jersey on it first? Is it still weird?
No, it's getting pretty normal now. It's I've been lucky to play on some teams, some great jerseys, and Detroit's right up there at the top of the league. I think it's been great, my time there. I've really enjoyed it. Not only playing with DeBrincat again, but just like there's a lot of young guys on the team that work hard, and it kind of it's like refreshing for me to be around when you think of like Sider and Raymond and Larkin, and you can go up and down the team. But it's been great being in Detroit and the situation they're in. Trying to compete for a playoff spot and watching the standings every night and seeing where you are. It's been a fun ride. So really happy with my decision, and can't say enough positive things about the organization.
I'm sure it was crazy when you were finding your team, but when you decide on Detroit and then you circle that calendar date against the Hawks, you realize right away that it's Chris Chelios Day, that so many other things are going on at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not really what you're thinking about when you first sign with the team, but I think after you look at the schedule and see if some of the teams I was thinking about actually played Chicago already. So, I mean, I was looking at the schedule to see if Detroit played Chicago, and they hadn't. And obviously, you knew that it was going to be this night with the Chelios jersey retirement. So, it's a pretty special night. I think probably something that a lot of the fans can be excited about, and just it's nice Chelly takes the burden off me a little bit here.
How has your body felt? Has it held up as well as you were hoping these first few months back?
Yeah, really happy about everything right now. Feels good to be pain-free again, and just playing the game out there. Obviously got injured, I think it was the beginning of January, around there. So, that was a little bit frustrating because, the hip was feeling good and something else kind of takes you out for a little bit. So, but yeah, nice to be back and kind of, I think I played 6 or 7 games since the last injury. So, nice to be back and kind of finding my timing in my game again, and just, trying to keep working at it.
Sounds like some of the guard in Kurashev and all these young guys following up your era of the Hawks. Do you think that's a heavy weight for a young team like that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the good thing for them now is it's like it seems like a totally different organization, right? From even the owner top down to the GM, coach. It's not the same people around, so they can kind of build something all together themselves.
It sounds like Hossa and some other guys are in town. Are you able to connect with any of the former teammates?
So I talked to a lot of them the past few days. Haven't had a chance to see them. Obviously, we had a game yesterday and got in a little bit later, so was trying to just kind of focus on getting ready for the game today myself. But it'd be great to see them out there. I'm sure they'll be out there for the ceremony, so it'd be nice to see all those guys.
Can you tell us who you've talked to so far? Like, as far as
just
coming in and who's going to be there?
Like, is that ruining anything? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Let's go to the next question.
Is your little boy here for this one? or-
Yeah. I have probably about 20, 25 people here. So they drove down a couple days back, and I don't think he's really at the magnitude where he understands what's going on, but it's still like, it's fun to have him around, you know. I mean, he's getting into hockey and he's enjoying it, and I think he obviously enjoyed being here in Chicago when I was here, and like New York, and now he likes Detroit. So it's funny how it just kind of switches wherever Dad is, but it's definitely nice to have him and Amanda here, and just the support they've been giving me, even with, you know, all the moving around and different things the past years with being in Chicago and New York, and then I was rehabbing mostly in Toronto after the surgery, and then coming back to Chicago and going to Detroit. It's been a lot for them too, but they've been great about everything.
Patrick, you mentioned the break it a few minutes ago. What's it going to mean to you to reunite with him at the United Center again in your return, and how much easier does that make it, or more enjoyable?
No, it's good. It's good. It's been great playing with him, and he's a great friend too. Obviously, we have some chemistry on the ice, but I think a lot of that comes from how close we are off the ice, and it'll be fun to. And I think he came back here last year with Ottawa, so it'll be fun to, you know, go out there and play with him today, and just kind of do our thing. Like I said, hopefully we can just settle in and play the game, and just be focused on doing what we do out there.
You looking forward to the video tribute?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not really sure what to expect, but yeah, you never really know what type of emotions will show up, but looking forward to it, and just acknowledging the fans, right? I mean, the fans have been so great to me ever since I came here, so it'd be fun to share that moment with them.
Was that weird that you never kind of got the chance to say thank you, because you kind of just left?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I just left.
Yes. Well, your last game was the Vegas game, and that was, you know, they never got a chance to say thanks.
Yeah, that was my last home game, and then I think we were on the road for a few, and I played in Dallas actually, and then we were playing in San Jose, and you know, I was just getting ready for just playing another game, and you know, I think New York was able to kind of speed up the process on a trade, so I had to make a decision within like 24 hours if I wanted to go or not, and decided to take on the challenge. So it was all really quick. I mean, even like coming back to Chicago after that, like Taser was back here, and maybe someone else, and I was skating and hanging out with them a little bit, and thought I was gonna be around for a couple more days, and the trade went through pretty quick, so I pretty much was just kind of getting up and leaving. So I think you know, I think everyone has different situations, whether you're leaving free agency or trade or middle of the season, and that was just kind of something a little bit different. So it'd be nice to be back and kind of you know, just share the moment with everyone.
However much you do get to soak in the Chelios ceremony, do you allow yourself to take it in and think, you know, this is going to happen to me one day?
Not really, no. I think it's just more focused on today, to be honest with you. I think we'll enjoy the ceremony and just hearing what Chelly has to say, and obviously seeing the number go in the rafters, but I think the focus on that is just kind of settling in and getting ready to play.
Have you thought about being on the wrong end of the Detroit chants that usually happen?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'm sure there'll be a few of those tonight, so you know, it was such a big rivalry when I came in, right? I mean, even in 2009 when we lost them in the conference finals, like that was the team we knew we kind of had to get over the hump against. And 2010 was great winning, but even like 2013 being down 3-1 and coming back and beat Detroit, like that kind of gave us some sort of validation that we could beat that team. So I know it's different conferences and you don't see each other as much now, but I'm sure that rivalry still, you know, resonates with a lot of fans.
How much do you want to score tonight?
What's that?
How much do you want to score tonight?
I don't know. I mean, you want to score every game, right? I think that's what I'm trying to get. I know it's a different night, and it's, you know, you're back in Chicago and you want to play well, but I think you try to get your mind in the right spot where you just kind of treat it like you're playing another game, and you want to produce every night. So yeah.
couple of curveballs for you. Is Chelios the greatest American-born player, and does Chicago or Detroit have a bigger claim to him?
What's that?
Does Chicago or Detroit have the bigger claim to Chelios?
I don't know. I mean, he had success in both places. I think right now you can definitely make that argument that he's probably the greatest American player of all time. I mean, I don't think someone would look at you funny or challenge that. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career and played a long time. His longevity was incredible. Won Stanley Cups, Norris trophies. So yeah, very fond of Chelly.
Do you remember anything about playing against him in the 2009 Winter Classic, or just anything about that game in particular?
Not that game. I remember, I think it was 2007 or 2008. We were in Chicago. We had a power play, and the puck was kind of stalled in the corner, and I had my back facing the net. Felt about 7 cross checks on my back, turned around, and I was looking to see if there was going to be a penalty, but the ref kind of let it go for a little bit. I decided to whack him back a couple times, and then I think it might have been the 12th cross check on my back that they finally called a penalty, and we got a 5-on-3 out of it and scored. And then after, he was saying he wanted to give us a 5-on-3 so we could make the playoffs that year. So I don't think he was too honest about that one, but. And then, of course, my mom's like mad about it after, saying like, "Oh, he's the same age as me. Like, what's he doing? Like, picking on me?" So, but after that, we became pretty close.
We have time for one more if anybody has one.
You were just saying how you were talking with Chelios during your whole process. Did you have anything to ask him about being a longtime Chicagoan and going to Detroit and what that would be like at all?
Not so much about that. I mean, I think it was a different situation. I was just trying to learn more about the organization, just things like that, but not really so much about switching organizations, right? I mean, I think, my time in Chicago was probably at an end when it ended, and that's just the way it was, so I don't think anyone was really going to hold a grudge on the situation I was in.
We all silly like the mayor.